Okay, welcome everyone. It's 4:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please stand for. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will work together to better our town. We all have an equal voice. We may disagree, but we will do so with civility and respect because in the end, we are all neighbors. First announcement that was not on the agenda, I'd like to recognize the unfortunate passing of Dee Dee Rittman, who was a wonderful friend to the Heritage Center, particularly Joe Bullock. She was the boys golf coach at Nash.
And the girls.
And the girls?
Yeah.
After, okay. During the time that Joe was the girls golf coach. So we send our condolences to her family. It's been advertised that they're having a private funeral, but they will have a memorial celebration, but it has not yet been announced. So we'll let everybody know when that's been announced.
I know most of the people in here have had you had a relationship with Dee Dee, I had a relationship with Dee Dee, and Mary had to do.
My wife didn't.
Your wife did. And she was just a special lady. And you know, she was helping out with my campaign. And you know, it's a loss to my family because every one of the people in my family would, outside of my sister, were taught by Dee Dee. So being gone leaves a huge void. Huge.
He was a calm crier.
Yeah, and she actually kept all the retirees from North Powell getting together. She would keep people informed on a weekly basis what the alumni did and what's new in the school district and what's new in just the town.
Achievements of students.
Yes. Yeah. So you know what? I hope that somebody will consider that moniker.
Well, thank you. So our past events, attendance of the July lecture, we had Catherine Calhoun from the August Wilson Center come, and she did one presentation. How many people were there that evening?
There were roughly 26, 27. I was really impressed with the presentation. I was impressed with the questions that were asked. And realizing it's the first time that we've actually gone outside of our box, bringing additional people in from the region. It was what I would consider to be a huge success. The questions were riveting that were asked. And it wasn't just about August Wilson, it was about the Hill District and how vibrant the Hill District was and the culture of the Hill District through the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then in the 60s when it was taken by eminent domain. So, I'd like to have them back. There's more
to explore there.
There's more to explore there, and they actually have dropped off a lot of
advertising.
They gave us tchotchkes to give out.
Yeah.
They actually want to have a back and forth relationship.
Yeah, it's always good to build a new relationship with the local cultural center.
Oh, that's my bad.
August 4th was National Night Out. They had a great attendance down at Town Hall, and we were open that evening as well. So thank you to the volunteers who were here that evening. The family putt-putt last 2 weeks ago was wonderful. We had about 42 golfers.
Yep, and we had three donations for people. I mean, we got an additional $30 done.
Okay. All right.
We got so many compliments.
It was a lot of fun.
On how that was run and just something more for the families. And the great thing about it was we were able to educate people when they were going in about the Heritage and Cultural Center. And if you look at the register, there's a lot of people that were part of the putt-putt contest that have come in since then. And that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I'd say even 50% of the people that registered, well, 50% of the people who came registered, and then most of them were just like out and wanted to putt-putt that night and just happened to come and take part of our event. So we were able to tell them about the Heritage Center. This one woman I talked to had been golfing there since she was a teenager. And she said like 50 years ago, she started coming here to that one. So it's a nostalgic place.
The big plus on all that would be on the golf.
Yeah.
So you could go, you could play once and then you could play again. And
Yeah.
you like some, that one group, I think played 3 times.
Yeah, I think I played 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
The nice thing about it was that is a beautiful course.
Yeah, it is.
And it really, I'm proud of it because it lent a lot to families getting together.
Mm-hmm.
And, you had families intermingling that, but we had participation from the town. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Shaneman showed up, and we had some other people show up from the town. So
Yeah.
I thought it was really.
And thanks again to US Mortgage Network for sponsoring that event.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you. Upcoming events. Tomorrow evening, we're having 2 lectures and a hike. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have over 40 people for each presentation at 5 and 6:30. And then at 7:30, there's an optional hike led by Lotadami's naturalist, Katie Stanley. She's gonna meet folks over at the Purple Trailhead over there. And if you don't want to hike, then you can just drive up to into the police academy. We've been reassured that the county police know that we're coming and we are allowed to go there. So it should be very interesting. I think it's going to be a good one.
Are you going to sell drinks
Tomorrow? We can, yeah.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Sell bottles of water to take on the hike.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. This Saturday is our second drive-in movie. We'll be showing the new Super Mario Brothers movie. That will begin at sundown, which will be around, what is it now?
8:15.
8:15. So we'll need additional volunteer help getting that started. So we can discuss that after this meeting. But HCAP at the Heinz History Center, 26. So I'm sure you've seen on the news that there are 3 museums in Pittsburgh that were voted best museums in the country: the Children's Museum, the Andy Warhol Museum, and the Heinz History Center. So we, as the Heritage and Cultural Center, are members of HCAP, which is the Heinz History Center affiliate program. So that gives us access to the library and archives and, just general museum operating advice from the Heinz History Center. And there are many other small local history museums in that network. So
give us access to programming from them.
Yes, they do have
So
programming.
we can do exchanges of programming, or we can.
I don't know that they would exchange programs, but their docents develop their own programs, like Jim Haller, who has done the football and the baseball. He developed those for the Heinz History Center, and you pay the Heinz History Center, and he comes and gives the talk.
Okay.
So he's not the only docent that does that, but yeah, they have programs.
Did a good job with baseball and radio, but football.
Yeah, that was the first one he ever did on football. We were the pilot.
He did the high school football before he did the pro football.
That being said, Bob Stakely, who is our HCAP affiliate representative, has invited all HCAP members to go to the Heinz History Center and set up a table and advertise their own space. And so Dan and I are going to go on Saturday, August 26th, and set up a table and talk to people about the Heritage and Cultural Center. They're expecting at least 1,000 visitors a day to the Heinz History Center through the month of August. So that'll be wonderful exposure to us to introduce people to the Heritage Center. September 9th is Community Day from 4 to 8. We'll be open that evening. We will have a tent down at Town Hall, again, advertising our events and upcoming things for the Heritage Center. And then on Thursday, September 28th, either 28th or 29th, the PA Trolley Museum is coming back. So I have been talking to them about whether or not they're going to do one presentation or two. Last year they did 2, so I'm assuming they're going to do 2 again in the same evening, because that was always a popular topic.
Can we back up and talk about Community Day? On Community Day, there's more than just Community Day here at Town Hall. There is a car cruise that takes place at North Allegheny Intermediate, and that's our major fundraiser for us. We will have a tent over there. We will be cooking hot dogs and bratwurst, selling pop, chips, candy, cookies. You know, we are the main food vendor for the car cruise. Our tent from here will be utilized over there because they're having the Freedom Foundation is bringing out a live group to play. So they want to have our tent to be utilized as a staging area. Now, the Community Day, as you know, we're not going to have the parade, but the North Allegheny Marching Band will appear starting, well, they're going to show up between 3:30 and 3:45. They're going to practice behind the DPW over there on that site. At 4 o'clock, they're going to come around and play the national anthem. They're going to march in from behind the DPW. They are going to play the national anthem, and then they're going to play their halftime show for the year. Then they will leave. The Freedom Foundation is going to feed the band. BJ.
I mean, that's
No,
they're getting it from somewhere else.
No, they're getting it from somewhere else.
Right.
We are going to feed the volunteers from BJ's. Volunteers that show up normally would eat at the food trucks. They're not going to eat at the food trucks. BJ's is giving us sandwich rings. They're giving us salads. They're giving us chips. They're giving us drinks. So rather than go through that, for lack of a better term, the issue of trying to get food tickets from the person that we tried to last year, we're just going to have everybody eat, and there's a portion of the DPW that will be set up where everybody will eat there. Then after the marching band's gone, Michelle's School of Dance will be on for about an hour. And then we have BB Steele, that is a 1970s and 80s band that's played at the Arts Festival. They played at the Shadeside Arts Festival. They play at Jurgles. They'll be playing from roughly 5:30 until 7:30. At 7:45, the Allegheny Brass Band takes over, and they'll play through the fireworks at 8:30. There are rides and there's attractions. There's not rides for kids. There's a bounce house. There's an axe throwing for adults. The firemen are going to have their junior firefighter thing going on, and then you're going to have food trucks from CNL shows. They're coming in from Mount Pleasant. It's 4 food trucks that'll be here for everybody's enjoyment. As far as what we're doing after the clerk, it's simple. We're gonna have this open. We're gonna have information table down there about the Heritage and Cultural Center, and then we'll wrap it up no later than 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
What time that clerk was starting?
Clerk crew starts at noon. Goes from noon until 6. That'll be held over at North Allegheny Intermediate. And I'm trying to think of some other things that we could bring it up.
We're gonna charge the same we did after $1 for a hot
It's
dog.
$1 for a hot dog. I'm gonna do $2 for a bratwurst.
Okay,
Because I mean, just, you know, it's a bigger,
yeah.
and all of it's donated, but, you know, and I gotta make arrangements to have that stuff picked up. And
October, our lecture is probably going to be the author of Notorious Pittsburgh. He's actually going to be at Northland at the end of September, actually on the same day that we're doing the PA Trolley Museum presentation. So,
having along those lines, are we doing anything to promote the library? Because it's like your library month in October, it's at September.
I don't remember.
We usually get a sign from them,
Yeah,
you know, a few yard signs posted.
we have some downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we had talked originally, and if you look at our
Oh,
schedule,
yeah,
about bringing in, you know, and bringing in
yeah.
Diane Owens to do a presentation, whether it be in September or October, specifically on the libraries.
Okay.
And that may be something that we do in conjunction with the author, Notorious Pittsburgh.
Well, it seems like two different times. This is like, you know, spooky ghost stories.
No, but I mean on separate occasions.
Hmm.
It's still a literary thing.
Right, well, that's true. Okay, all right, I will put that on my radar. I forgot about that. And if you have ideas for speakers, I'm already thinking about next year's schedule. October will be our last lecture because in November we're doing the gala, and then December we have, you know, Winterfest and the other holiday centric things. So so if you have suggestions or have heard of someone related to the North Hills, you are a good resource for things like that, so send them my way.
We also need to determine with UPMC what their schedule is going to be as far as their activities inside the center on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
They had talked about doing inoculations in here. They talked about doing, you know, the health fairs for the seniors. They had talked about doing the sports medicine, information sessions, geriatric information sessions. So,
Okay. Let's see, volunteer schedule. Welcome to the new volunteers. We had one new volunteer last month, Evan, high school student. Thanks to Evan. August and September coverage. I think we're good for the remaining dates that we have in August. Suzanne's going on vacation next month, so a couple Friday mornings are open. So if you can volunteer for that, please do. So I'll read
send me an email and let me know when they are, please. Because working remotely, sometimes I can just I work from here.
Okay. Community Partnerships, Franklin Park. The exhibition is now open through September 30th. Dan and I met with 2 volunteers from the Passmit Foundation last week. They were the 2 volunteers for the Passmit Foundation who pulled all of the historic archives for us to look at when we went to the Passmit Foundation about a month ago. And those two ladies are going to help us put together an exhibit here about the Bring It North campaign in the first quarter of 2024. So that was very interesting. We showed them around and told them about the Heritage Center. So it's nice to meet with them. North Allegheny School District. If you haven't seen the activities calendar, it turned out beautifully. They used a lot of our historic photos from our permanent collection. So that went to the household of every family who is a student in the North LA School District. So if you want a copy yourself, they may have more copies at Central Administration. I would call to see if they have any left. I picked up about 10. That one might be the one in my house. So I kept one for our permanent collection and for our records. So
I like when we get on with it, we got a lot of credit for the pictures that they have in here.
Well, the other thing is too, that can be part of our year end.
Oh, it definitely is a huge portion on that. Facebook updates. Last month we got 20 new followers. The reach for last month was 8,688. Wow. And the post about Dee Dee Rittman's passing was our, I hate to say our most popular post, but it reached 948 people and it had 74 reactions and comments as well. So it goes to show how much she has impacted our community. Is there any public comment on agenda items? Nope. Okay. Did you send the previous meeting minutes?
No, because now the website's gonna connect you right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss them. All right, so we'll put that on hold until the next meeting to approve the minutes. Reports on the committees. What do you think of the sign? Chuck, was it that today was? I mean,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. You were on vacation when it was done, right? Yeah.
It's pretty cool. When I back drove by, I was there.
Yeah.
I made a formal request to Brian and Mel that we'd be able to utilize the color in it. Because I don't think that it's gonna make one bit of difference whether we use color versus black and white. There's nothing in the graphics that we're doing that are indicating motion. So it shouldn't be that big a distraction of anybody.
I wasn't aware. They said you have to keep everything in black and white.
Yeah, that was part of but that was somebody else on council at that time, and she was staunchly against it.
Does it have the capability?
Yes, it has the capability.
You actually can't buy a sign with just black and white. But it just comes all colors. We have to.
They're all LED.
Manipulate it to be black and white, just choose black and white.
Yeah.
Like you said, the graphic and black and white.
Well,
Yeah, John's been the one primarily to update and put everything on the sign. I had access to it as well. So he was showing me before you guys got here, like how to make new graphics. Cause like you said, it has to be very simple because it is, you know.
And who is responsible for putting stuff in front of council? Is that you? The announcements in front of council.
Usually Sandy usually asks around, or Brian or someone else.
Because you know what, we published an activities calendar. And for whatever reason, it seems like the last 2 months our stuff hasn't been getting in front of council for them to make announcements at council meetings. The putt contest was not. I had to get up and talk about that. And then this last time was the drive-in movie. So,
Yeah, that the list to make requests.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Do we have the drive-in movie on the? We have that on there right now. Okay. John, I'd like to see if you have any questions, I don't know if it's the same program I use or not, but it may be. So if you have any questions,
Okay.
I may or may not be able to help.
I looked at it, it's pretty easy to use actually. And we're still going to create our own graphics,
Right.
but it's really easy to just drag and drop.
Okay, do they have a library of graphics in there?
Yeah, they have their own graphics, then we can put our own in.
Okay, all right.
Good for us, very good program.
Well, I might use you as a reference then, because I can't see.
I just have to see the program. If it's the same one I have, I'm good. But
Okay.
if it's
I'm
not,
sure it
then-
is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a big help I'm gonna have on.
Okay, well, it is a beautiful sign and thanks again for everyone's,
CW electric.
oh, and yes, CW.
I have not seen this place at night. There's
It's
the.
fantastic.
It looks great.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah,
And I gotta tell you, what's really cool, your new logo.
Yeah.
It pops
Mhm.
because it's lit up on top of that
Yeah,
sign.
it looks really good.
And you know what, Deb Saget's gotta be the happiest person This is for the first time her yoga's being.
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks
and
good,
you wouldn't
too.
need for that. Well, I looked at that.
That's all John.
Yeah, John, Robert, I mean,
Yeah,
it's real readable, and it's.
yeah.
You know what, some of the graphics that we're using for like the drive-in movie,
Mhm.
they don't show up as all on this for whatever.
No, I
reason.
think it's gonna take us a couple minutes to
We have to
figure
go.
out what works.
Yeah, it's a black and white, I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking about a black and white scale, so
Yeah.
we can't, it's not
The
made. to
simpler
be-
the better.
Yeah, but once you get color,
Yeah,
Easier.
with all the hues, it's easier to make a
That's
picture
true.
out. Right now, you're
Yeah.
trying to do
gray on gray.
white, yeah, gray, white, and gray scale,
Yeah.
it's not gonna do it.
Okay. Isn't that a color?
I tried to make black and white.
Black and white.
You're white,
Mostly white, but it jumps off because it's white.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cause it looks like it's colored to me. So I mean,
It
the
looked
word,
like it was color. but it didn't.
the word I keep seeing when I drive by is yoga.
When you make something
Because it's like
gray
this
out
big.
of origin,
Yeah.
it's gonna look like color.
Right,
You probably need to look at the letter, because the yoga is like really big, so you see yoga,
That's, John made that. I
you see yoga coming.
Yeah,
So you can look down below it and see when it is and stuff, like if you do a drive-in movie, maybe you should put movie.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like movie today or movie
Yeah,
Saturday.
something.
yeah, we're actually not allowed to say the name of the movie if it's electronic sign because the agreement that we have with the movie company, so we can just say movie, date, time.
Well, that's all I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes simple is better.
Yeah, make the word
On sign,
big.
everywhere else you can advertise them.
I know. Really?
Yeah. And apparently they get really funny about it if it's like competing with like a commercial movie.
Oh, they said Super Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have that on the website and everywhere else it's there.
Oh.
We're exempt from that because we're more than 15 miles away from any other drive-in.
Mhm.
So, and that was part of the agreement that you and I looked at. So
I can go back and read it and see what they're saying.
Yeah. I think we need to revisit
Yeah, we
that.
can reach out to them.
Okay. Gala updates. Last month we met after this meeting and, gave some updates on Gala sponsorships. So far, we've gotten sponsorships from Chuck's Auto Body, thank you, and CWE Automotive.
CW.
CW,
CW.
yes.
No.
I need to follow up with UPS about their.
You also got something from the
We see it on the-
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, thank you.
Can I bring up one thing under sponsorships? I talked to Jay at FEMA.
Yeah.
And he is not going to buy seats,
Okay,
but he's willing, he said, you know, if I could buy an ad.
okay.
Or if, and, well, he was sort of maybe talking about maybe providing a basket or something.
Mhm.
And I didn't really know what to tell him, because I'm gonna wait for this meeting, but I can go back to him, but. Instead of, if we have something where we can get $50, $75 from a business.
Yeah.
That's,
Did you get, didn't I give
what we
you
wanted
the
to talk-
packet
that's what,
last month?
Yeah.
I got the packet last month, but.
Yeah, it's all outlined from there, like even if you don't wanna sponsor it at the level that's on there.
It was
I
for the
mean,
program ads.
Program.
Yeah.
Is that-
I think that's what you might. use.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I could do that.
All right, I'll go back and let you get into that.
Okay,
there is one item that I wanted to bring up in front of everybody, and we're doing an agreement with a DJ. It's gonna come. Yeah. We back to the drawing board.
Yes,
Okay.
but that's okay, but, we'll talk about that, but.
I'd still like the permission. I'd still like the permission of the committee to spend up to $500 on a DJ.
Sure.
Give them something they can actually.
oh, yeah.
I'll make a motion to spend $500 to pay for a DJ.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
How much you're at?
I can give you a sponsorship packet.
Right.
I wanted everybody to look at the tickets too. We did a mock-up of the tickets. Front and back. I think they look pretty good. I tried to keep it as plain as I could so it could be visible. But it tried to get both the Shining Star Gala on it, and on the back have our new logo.
At the start time?
This doesn't have any ads.
Yes, sir. It's a
Well, it's part of the sponsorship package, you can get like a half-page ad or a full-page ad. But as far as like a business card ad, Kevin and I have to work on that program for.
What if you just want an ad?
Kevin and I have to work on that,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so that needs to be done pretty quickly. We're gonna do this, and again, North Allegheny has offered to rent up to 300 programs for us.
That's,
Yeah,
I need to ask a question. And
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not supposed to, but why do you need tickets? I never have tickets to go look at.
Well,
They just take your name, you put it on a list, you check in, and that's that.
well, here's the thing, if we have people that buy a table and they want to hand out tickets to people, I'd rather have it that way.
Tickets, why would you need tickets? You just call people, say you want to go, and then you turn your name in.
Well,
You have to like physically get a ticket to somebody. That's not real convenient. I don't know. I haven't had a ticket in probably 30 years. They just take your name.
it's a great point.
It would take just a little organization in a Google Doc, you know, when you say whoever, whatever table is, who's there, and when we go to the night of autism on the Vincent Pinder, you walk up, once again, you don't have a ticket. You walk in, you say, I'm the Ironman table, and they're like, okay, which one are you? And then their names are listed underneath the Ironman table. They ask you who was gonna be in attendance.
Right.
And they
Unless we force people to,
You sort of give it two ways. You have your table list if you want to do it that way, or you have an alphabetical list, or you have both two people at the registration table, so you can cross check it. But we've always done it that way. All the time.
I put
They
that in
lose
there.
the ticket, then somebody calls you because they can't find their ticket, and then night of they can't find their ticket, and they say, can I still come? Because I can't find my ticket. Yeah, it's like, it's just. Plus you have to print them, I guess you could pay for that, or somebody has to pay.
No, there's a template that I
Yeah.
buy, because I've done this before.
With tickets,
Yeah, it's a template, it's $15 to
Right.
print 500 tickets.
it's more the inconvenience of having the ticket. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. Do you do what you want? That's just a
No,
suggestion. I just keep it.
it's a great
It's
suggestion.
much better to have the names of people who are
Quite
coming.
frankly, I got enough on my plate. So, I mean, it's something over there.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the names too. Then you have a list of names.
Yeah, I think I'm more concerned about how we're gonna sell the tickets, cash and. And check.
Well, we were promised that the financial package of the new website would be up by what, July?
That's a separate thing that I'm not.
Like you, I mean, that somewhere along the line, the rubber's gotta be threaded. You know,
It's one point.
yeah, I mean, it's,
No, you're not using Eventbrite or something like that.
we haven't yet. We can.
I don't think we can though, because the problem with Eventbrite is they
Other
charge.
charge fee.
Oh, they do charge.
We're not allowed to pay a fee,
Right,
I know they charge.
so.
No, you don't pay it. The customer pays them, unfortunately. That's what happened with us. I didn't like it either. I didn't like it. I didn't like the fee. But
We're just gonna have to roll old school.
You know,
I mean, we don't have.
you just have
We're
to,
being tough in regards to electronic payment.
Yeah, you know,
you have to take checks. Is that what you have to do?
so what we have to do then, it means that we gotta do a better job of getting everything out now. That means that everything's gotta be, the communications have to be. Like, now, we gotta make sure that everything that we send out says send checks to Don Bajarski. Yeah.
Someone else.
Yeah, it gets, we need to establish where it's gonna go.
I think we need to get the J-Lo on our sign.
Yeah,
But if it goes on the sign, they're gonna have to have a direction of where to go to pay and where to go to buy.
yeah.
And that's where we're gonna.
Yeah, it's almost like, where do they go for more information?
Correct.
Well, John and I, before the meeting started, we talked about making a dedicated landing page
Yeah.
under the the tab of the Heritage Center just dedicated to this.
Yeah.
So we could have this information there. We could have, that's the only thing is like, this would be a good problem to have, but like, what if we send out all this information and then we get more checks than we have seats?
Positive dilemma, don't worry
Negative.
about
We have,
Yeah.
600 people.
Okay.
Okay, we're not gonna sell
So
600.
just keeping track of all of these like the paper trail is just what.
Well, here's the nice thing. If you do set up a landing page, we can direct people to send checks in,
Yeah,
and we can put a page on that they can put their reservation in.
You can still collect the
Yeah.
information, you just wouldn't be able to do the physical the financial transaction.
right.
So if
And
you don't
that's-
count your name.
That's what's gonna be necessary, I think.
So we'll do like a registration like we do for the lectures and then say, once you register, please send your money to.
Yeah.
Or bring it to town hall.
Yeah, I think we need to just keep it simple for, I mean, because of the scope of the entity that we're in here with being handcuffed in payment, it just has to be a check to the town of McCandless in the memo. That way there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
The money trail, it's
Cash.
all went to the town, it
Yeah.
all went to town
Yeah.
of McCandless, it all went to Grubbs Road,
Okay,
and it all was labeled to the Heritage.
Yeah, and make sure you put something there that says your reservation is not confirmed until your check is received.
yeah,
'Cause
exactly,
you will be going to people's houses to get checks,
right,
because they fill out their registration, they think they're done. That's a shame you can't use a credit card.
I agree with that. You're saying.
It's gonna be the new unicorn. Like the sign is.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Say that that was almost ready to go.
That's my next.
Yeah.
Completed.
That's ready to go for the last.
Yeah, but I thought that this time it was, everything was ready to go.
Well, if you remember, Kathy said the other night that they're still working through the financial packages of the software. So, I mean.
What's ready to go?
Well, we saw, it was gonna be in March, then we were told it's gonna be in June, and now we don't know. Marion.
Did you plug into the platform that they're working on?
Yeah, it would be a separate thing. So if anything's gonna go on the main website, it would be a plugin link.
Yeah, those are all secure embedded. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, there's the problem with government.
well, we want that an hour.
Problem with the way that we're set up, and Brian Valley did a great job of explaining this to me. We can't pay fees, you can't pay credit card fees, it's against our charter. I think it's against Pennsylvania law. The municipality cannot pay credit card fees for payment. So, that being said, that's the problem. So we have to find a software package and a provider that doesn't charge us.
Well, who's gonna do that? Cause no one's gonna make money.
Well, they're gonna make money on the software. So.
You just ship them.
You tag the fee onto the ticket, that's what you do.
But
You
even
put the
that,
fee on the ticket, if you want to use a credit card, then you pay a 3% fee, and then you get out from under that.
Right.
By the way, Joe, we all had government issued credit cards and we used them all the time when I worked for Tom, so they let us use them. And we pay fees.
no, step.
There's something Brian told me that had to do with
I'm
municipality.
gonna go back and ask that again, because if you could use a credit card, if people want to use a credit card, they'll pay the fee, they won't care.
Right.
And
Small.
yeah, it's small, it's like cents, 3% of, even if it's 3% of $75 is what? A couple bucks, yeah, so for the convenience of not writing a check and then putting a 65-cent stamp on it, I'm gonna go back and ask them again. John, do you know why we don't have it done? I could have sworn I heard it was just about there.
It's enterprise software. There's other things on there too. So again, from my end, I'm just gonna be linking it to the site. I'm not gonna be operating anything.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's fine.
All your sponsors send checks anyway, usually.
yeah,
Sponsors send checks.
it's not,
Because
it's
they
not,
want to
it's
spend
just
checks.
those individual.
Twos.
Yeah,
I'll go back and ask one more time. When's the big push for ticket sales? Like now?
Yeah, now, we're actually going to unveil everything in September.
September.
Because it's gonna be basically 3 months before the event.
Okay.
I'm excited about this event because it's giving us a lot of flexibility. And it's gonna give us a lot of visibility in the community. And there are people that are excited about the Pittsburgh Cookie Table. There are people excited about a dinner dance because you don't see dinner dances anymore. So, you know,
You better get that.
I just lost it. It wasn't dirt for a few days.
But I really think that with the silent, you know, where are we with the baskets, Abby?
I've been soliciting organizations to donate items to put into it.
Jay and Zima might be a good one we get.
Well, he sort of, when he said this, you know, I'd get $50 by buying that or something like that. He sort of almost hinted that you'd see the basket.
Susan Philly Hodgie said she would give a basket.
Yeah,
Serve pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And with hers, it's usually pizza certificates and bottles of wine, you know, so it should be really, you know.
And I do have a master list of places that we have contacted and will contact and should contact. That I will send all of you as well.
Now, for the most part, I believe that all of our expenses will be covered by sponsorship. So as many butts that we can get in the seats, plus what we sell as far as the chances on the baskets and everything, and you know, we're gonna do it 50-50. So from that aspect, I really believe that we have a chance to really make some big money here.
We're still gonna do the booth symbol there.
You know what? I'm actually thinking we should.
Yeah.
It'll be the head.
Oh, we
Money
should
maker.
We might still have it.
If you have, pick it up.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
You want a big one?
Well, you know what? Yeah, we want a big one.
The bigger the better.
So just keep in mind, if we do that, you know, each of us are responsible for a bottle or two, or a case of beer. So even if you're out, you know, amongst and you want to like throw 2 in there, you know, if you want to do 1 now, 1 later, but just kind of keep that in mind so you're not at the last minute. Not that would be hard, but you know.
Well, that's gonna be right around Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
Well, Billy Hodge said, you know, she helped me out with the St. Alexis Festival and she bought $18 for 1.
Yeah.
The box is 1. So those things, why don't they go a long way?
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying. People like once they see this, it'll be $20 a ticket,
Easy.
easy money in the bank.
All right. Well, that seems to be all in regards to the gala.
yeah, we do have to pick a menu, and if you want to do that as a subcommittee, because we have to decide on hors d'oeuvres. No,
You know, I'll take 2 minutes and pick what I want to eat. Okay, so old business intergovernmental agreement update.
yeah, I'm gonna submit to council the intergovernmental agreements for Franklin Park and Pine. Because both entities have been asking for them. I've been in contact with Todd Schwartzmeyer and with Mayor O'Keefe over in Franklin Park, as well as Audrey Mackey and Casey White from Pine. And they're poised to start the push them through. Now the intergovernmental agreements, and Marianne, you and I have talked about this before. We're asking for $1 per resident per year for a period of either 2 or 4 years. Okay. Now, what this will do for us is it gives us some operating revenue that we didn't have before. And I mean, the ultimate plan is to to, develop the 501c3, which is next on the agenda, but that will not be done until after November. I don't look for that to be completed until probably January. But ultimately what I'd like to do is I'd like to, with the 501c3 and its repurpose, I'd like to negotiate a long-term lease with the town on this facility and its content. And then start to work with the other municipalities and put ourselves in a position that we can be a regional asset in the eyes of the Allegheny County and in the eyes, of the state, being a separate nonprofit.
And conversion of the 501c3 from the McCandless community.
Just whatever that.
Thank you, sorry, it was
You weren't mad that you were buddy.
picking out the sausage stuff in my friends. Sorry. Yeah, first things first. Already. New business. Anything, website updates. The new website looks beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, it launched around midpoint last week.
Okay.
And really relevant to us, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. There's a new module basically for activities. So anything that we need requiring signing up, we can use that, be more specifically directed towards like an actual, activity or event.
Great.
So,
Is the domain the same?
yeah, it's still townofmechanics.org. Probably a lot of the links are different now, but it's still the same domain.
Okay.
Can I know that you and Joe have talked before about like new content.
I'd like everyone to review it,
Okay.
actually, if they can, because so
Yeah.
much has happened since then.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe we should sit down and just like, do you have access to change it? Are you
Yes.
still doing that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cause I would like to put all new information in.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it-
Now with the Gala website and pictures and the logo and
There's a lot of older stuff too, that could probably be
Yeah.
condensed or
Yeah.
removed.
We also have reached out to McCandless Crossing. We changed the
Oh, yeah.
logo.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I just
That's
talked to
still
Joe
out
about that too.
We changed the logo with McCandless Crossing.
You did?
No, I reached out to
Oh.
Todd
Okay,
Piper
Okay.
and he gave me his person's name
okay,
and I sent everything to her and our hours. It's gonna be easier to read.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the way that we're set up with the old logo, you can barely see that.
This is more for that.
Yeah.
It's really has 5 seconds while you go
Yeah.
by.
And I put a tagline on there, come be a part of history. So.
public comments. Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
We still need to get this stuff hammered out. Detailed stuff has to be done.
For what?
For the game. We also need to decide whether we're gonna bring in a photographer.
Okay.
To do this. Well, or a videographer. Now. We're doing videos. And I've already started working on the videos. We're doing a video that pretty much introduces everybody at the beginning. That's why we got all the pictures from everybody. So we're gonna introduce them to music and it will be narrated by Randy Gore. Then what we're going to do is we bring them in, then we introduce Pam Serrano. She does a welcome. Abby does a welcome for the Heritage Center, the Heritage and Cultural Center. Then we have an informational 3-minute film on the Heritage Center. Okay. Then we start introducing people. Then we go through. Father Will is going to do the invocation. Then we have dinner. At the end of dinner, we do the presentations. Okay, the introduction of the awardees and their acceptance speeches. The only one that we're not doing a verbal introduction for is the gentleman that we are honoring posthumously, Jack Hunt. We're doing a little video tribute to him. Greg Wachek will not be in attendance this year. He asked us to move his award until next year. He's ran into a family issue. He announced that on National Night Out. So he begged off. He's got a pretty urgent family emergency and asked if we could honor him next year. And I don't think it's a big deal not to make people in the 70s.
Do you want to replace?
No, I don't want to replace anybody. I think we're getting a lot of bang for the buck with the Offmans and with the Caliendos and Dick and Jack Holly and you know, Andrew McLaughlin. You know, we have a commitment from North County to buy 2 tables. You know, we have commitments from different people like Dick Schnupp's men's group and his family. We have my family, we have college, you have the Armins, you have all the firemen for Jerry Hoffman and Jerry Hoffman. Then you have UPMC that's coming here to introduce Beth. So you know, there's a lot going on. You know, the library is going to be involved. The ambulance authority has spoken with Christelle. So those people are all going to be in attendance. So it's really going to be kind of it's going to be a really nice community event for the time of camp. So, but we've got to make decisions on every little thing, including the flowers. We spoke with Flower Grandma, Patty Fowler, and she's willing to do, you know, 2/3 off of every centerpiece, which is a pretty good deal. We can get somebody to sponsor the last third. And it's nice. We've got a sponsor for all the awards. The awards have been won. You guys got a chance to see that in the previous meeting. So it's a nice trophy. Well, it's not a huge trophy, it's not that big. And it's individualized and it talks about commitment to the town of McCandless.
We talk about the game.
Sure.
That way, Abby can,
You have a sinus headache, huh?
I don't know what kind of.
Well, if you're pressing your eye here, it means you get a sinus headache.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Look at me, I can't do motions.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Ann.
all right, so I'll reach out.